Well, good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen. What a treat, what a privilege to have these two distinguished gentlemen of international affairs and very experienced, seasoned ministers with us. Can I start, Minister Goyal, with you? I know this is your first official visit to New Zealand. Quickly, is it your first visit in any capacity to New Zealand, or have you been here before?
To Auckland, my first visit, but to New Zealand, my second visit. And I have such fond memories of the first visit because I came as a tourist with two very young kids. Mostly went to the beaches and spent time there. And probably the last time I drove a car was in New Zealand.
We put you off for life, did we? Was it that bad? I happen to be in charge of the roads for the government, but we won't go into that.
Simon, the story gets better. Carry on.
You want them to hear it? Okay, so I used to normally not drive too much, but everybody insisted, and internationally I'd never driven before. So when I came to this side of the world, everybody insisted I must rent a car and drive myself. So it was a new experience. Right from the renting of the car was quite a new thing for me. Took the car, went around the country, loved it. Of course, you would drive miles without even seeing another car. And
only sheep.
Yeah, but then I didn't look at the sheep. I had my wife next to me and two kids, so I didn't want to take chances with the surroundings. But anyway, had a lovely trip, enjoyed myself, went back home. And every time I visited my parents' home for almost 6 months after that, there was a letter from the government of New Zealand waiting at my... And my mother used to ask me, why is the government of New Zealand writing so many letters to you? And I can understand, we also have occasionally to pay a fine in India. Sadly, my passport still had my parents' home address on it. But the worst was yet to come. Initially, there was $200 and stuff like that. One fine day I reached there and I get an $800 fine. And I was shocked absolutely. So I tried to make inquiries and I found that the faster you go, the fine keeps increasing. Is it still like that? And how can you blame us for it? The roads are built to drive fast.
Fantastic.
And, and Simon, our negotiators are upstairs right now. If we land the free trade agreement, I've promised the Minister of Transport will refund your fines.
I was very tempted not to pay. Very, very tempted. For a moment I thought, when will I ever go back so far? But just imagine if I had not paid those fines and when I landed here today and I was not allowed entry to your country.
I've done a few of these. That was not the answer I was expecting. I tell you, I just say, you sign the FTA with dairy included right now, we wipe the fees, it's fine. Minister Macleay, if I've got this wrong, blame my researchers. I have a vague sense, though, you two gentlemen tomorrow are off to Rotorua. That's his hometown. It's a very nice place. You'll notice it smells different. I understand. I have a sense you are doing something special. You are cooking a home-cooked meal. I know from experience you are a very good chef. Is this true? If it is, What's on the menu?
Well, it's for others to judge whether I'm a good cook or not, so thank you so much. But look, Piyush, welcome to New Zealand with your delegation. I think it is 18 years since a Commerce Minister from India has come to New Zealand, so we're very grateful you've come all this way down here, and you promised, I think, on my first meeting with you, the government had been formed for only weeks, and I jumped on a plane and went to India, and we had an opportunity to meet, and I invited Piyush down, and he promised he would come. I told him it was very, very close, because when we arrived there, when we had the meeting, a magnificent office with a view of the city, he took me outside and pointed the buildings out, and he said to me, "When did you arrive?" And I said, "Well, we got here this morning. We've flown straight through to get here, so many hours." And he said, "When are you going home?" And I said, "Well, I'm leaving soon. I'm going straight home." And he said, "But New Zealand is such a very, very long way away." And I said, "Well, you're right, but we have a budget on at the moment." And I made a commitment before the election at a very large conference with the New Zealand Indian business community, this hotel, almost 1,000 people there, that I would visit India within the first 3 months, and the Prime Minister gave me permission. And so what I've decided to do in one of the many visits there, Piyush welcomed me to his city and to his home. So we're going to Rotorua tomorrow to look at some of the sites, to do a lot of work, but largely to engage with the New Zealand Indian community. 300,000 Indians call New Zealand home, our third largest ethnic group. You're not meeting all of them in Rotorua, but we're going to meet as many of them as we can.
Fantastic. Typical politician, didn't answer my question. That's okay. I mean, we are, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get a bit more serious. It's not all jokes. I'm interested in experienced ministers. You've ministered 6 years in your current roles. Minister Macleay, it's your second time around, and things are always better the second time. You now have met each other on the international stage, on the circuit, how many times?
Probably 8 or 9 times.
And even more.
And I'm offering you, I'm trying to get the mood music for the trade deal right here. I'm offering you the chance to say nice things about each other. What Minister Goyal and Minister Macleay, what is each other's style, working style on the international stage in those forums?
You want to go first?
I'll take the last word. You go first.
Well, I think I must share with you that Minister Todd Macleay is so lovable, so affable, that almost all the trade ministers get along very well with him. He's extremely kind, extremely courteous, and always willing to offer solutions and bridge the gap when we are all engaged in some very serious discussions or negotiations. I find Todd is always willing to come up with some nice, simple way to get everybody on the same page. So in that sense, it's always a pleasure to have him around when we are on international engagements. When we are alone with each other, I think he's too sweet. No rough edges, very, very polite. I have not heard him raise his voice even once, and I can't say the same about myself. And truly a delight. One would almost feel from the day we first met, we just hit it off very, very smoothly.